exactly. And yeah, you can see there. Actually, Infi being a bit careless, accidentally getting his water elemental ensnared, which means that it won't take the aggro until for a little while at least, and that's really not good. Periaptive Vitality, alright against the Warden because he did go for Shadow Strike, and finally passing 5. And so that Warden's just going to be such a harassing machine. And Moon putting up a couple Moon Walls here just to keep Infi's army at bay and provide a bit of extra scouting and healing on location if that's where the next battle happens to be. And Moon, I'm not sure, I don't think Moon scouted this at this point, and he will very soon, I imagine, because I imagine he's on top of his micro, he'll just be checking around, and now he must have scouted it, and Infi actually scouting out this one wisp, and so Moon knows what's going on and just goes for the detonate because he knows he can't get away from a Archmage with boots, and that is enough for Moon. He has got an invisibility potion, and he will be heading straight to that Warden, or where he thinks the Warden is. Infi actually not going for that expansion, just because I think he knew it wouldn't go up. He knew he wasn't half as sneaky as he needed to be, and so as a result, he won't be expanding at this point. Archmage getting pretty close to 4. Meanwhile, Moon going for lots of Ancients of War, so I assume we're seeing, yeah, we are seeing, we must be seeing a workshop build. Yep, there it is. We are going to see tanks, and so Moon's probably going to be going for his painted unit combination. I think it was actually Infi getting caught out there. Remind, I think, sort of started what all the elves use now, where you go for your mud golems, you go for your dots, and then you just get lots of bears. And actually, I've seen Moon gone for a couple of divergences of the strategy where he gets a Naga third. We'll have to see exactly how he's going to play it out. Certainly against a mass flying machine, he gets all his heroes, and he gets some staffs for them all, and he just staffs them around, gets ancient protectors. The wisps heal the ancient protectors and go into the mines. It's a very smooth operation that Moon has against flying machines, but we are going to be seeing tanks here. Moon actually taking a lot of feedback here from this Warden, but has bought a Potoma free training. We'll have to see what skills he chooses. It's presumably going to be Fan of Knives and Blink, but cannon towers here from Infi, and two guard towers and a cannon tower, so some pretty unusual play here. Ancient of Wind now going up as well, just for that 1 dot, and you can get a couple dots as well, if you, or sorry, hippogriffs if you like, and those are very good just for scouting around, and almost level 4 in that panda now. Obviously Breath of Fire pretty useful, but Drunken Bulwer and Drunken Haze not as useful against tanks, and so we'll have to see which one Moon goes for. But 0 experience on this Mount King, and this Archmage pretty close to level 4 still. Gonna come in, and Moon not even building Wisps here. Moon at 53 food actually, a bit of an odd choice, whereas Infi is at 49, so Infi is actually outmining Moon at the moment, and will be for quite a while, unless he pops population, which I don't think he will be, and Moon getting his Entangled Goldmine cancelled, and now could take some damage on this Tree of Life, but there's no way he's going to lose it. Apart from these tanks are coming, they're already 2-0 upgrade. Infi going for the attack upgrades first, which isn't too common, but certainly both attack and armor upgrades are essential in the long term viability of this matchup, so we'll have to see whether or not Infi is going to manage to take this expansion down. I thought he wouldn't be able to, but he did have these 2 tanks coming in, and meanwhile these towers have finished as well, so Infi's probably going to go straight to another push here, and Moon, as you can see, 1 Mud Golem for slow, 1 dot for removing armor, and that's really all you need. But that expansion has gone down as expected, and Moon really in a needs to continue expanding, because really the easiest way to lose to this strategy is if you just have no economy, just because the tanks just come everywhere. They're constantly coming. You really don't need to focus on your army. You need to get some bears and some support units, but you just need to have the economy. If you don't, you're in trouble. And some tanks coming in now, and Moon might well scout out these scout towers as a result, and we'll have to see how Moon decides to play it from there. He has some Ancients of War here, which he will need to uproot, and you can see already both siege engines down to -2 armor. Just so those dots are just so useful. But tanks now coming into Moon's main as well, taking down 1 Ancient of War, but it looks like they will be taken down as well. And Moon at 61 population. I imagine Infi at about 50 now. Ooh, Moon actually taking a lot of damage on his Warden, staffing out. Very dangerous play here. The Mount King is not around though, so Warden will get out of there, and that's where I was taking a look at Infi actually has broken population, so really going for a very heavy push here, a bit non-standard. I think this is probably because he lost his or he didn't manage to get up a second expansion. Maybe he'll go for one later, and this Water Elemental as well as this Archmage will able to do a lot of damage here, and looks like that 1 dot will go down, but I think Moon did build 2 in his base, although maybe he lost them both now. I'm not sure where the second one has gone, and so no more Fairy Fire for Moon at this point, and Moon just now scouting out the extent of this sort of prolonged tower rush coming here from Infi, and Infi gonna lose this one. Actually, these Moon, I think, playing a bit crazy here. Just there's so much going on that he hasn't really been able to focus on the very low siege engines and unusually Infi actually bringing in peasants to repair while the rest of the game is going on. This is a very interesting strategy because you'd think Moon could just Phantom Knives, Breath of Fire, and down those peasants would go, and actually that's exactly what's happening now, and it looks like Moon's going to be able to save this expansion. He's having to uproot though, and actually Moon might well lose it because these other tanks are now coming around, and that might well be enough, and we'll have to see. This is so tense when this sort of stuff happens. Infi actually bringing in his Archmage as well, and if the Archmage could stay in, I think he could take him down, but as a result of Moon chasing him out, I don't think he can Infi can actually take down this expansion, but just so many units here, and they just all get in each other's way, which is a bit of a problem for Moon, but you need those Ancients of War, and Infi actually going for some mortars now as well, obviously 3-0 upgraded at this point. That's just so dangerous against those Dryads, and actually they're pretty good against those Ancients of War, which just can't move too well, and Moon needs to be much more careful with his Dryads. He's 2-0 upgraded on all his units, and his Panda already 5. Jesus Christ, folks! Look, we're maybe 2/5 through this game, and the Panda's already 5. I'm very excited. And Infi, meanwhile, putting up some towers to cancel his Moon expansion. 2 guard towers at the moment. No cannon towers, unfortunately. I love cannon towers. They're so stupid, basically, but they're just so much fun to see. And obviously, with 8 fortified armor and doing 100 siege damage, they're just so insane. And 800 range as well, as opposed to 700 for most of the towers. And Infi now going to lose at least one of these mortar teams. Healing going off, and Moon can just take down this Paladin if he wants. Looks like he's actually going to chase it down. He's not even going to use Breath of Fire. No Arcane Towers. I don't know why pros don't put up at least one Arcane Tower in this sort of place. This I'm not sure. Yes, finally Breath of Fire going off, but taking down that Paladin, only level 1 though, so it's not too big a deal. And this is really how Infi wants to be playing this game. You just need to constantly be harassing. You don't need high level heroes, and you just need to constantly be coming in, playing it sort of very aggressive, taking out your opponent's expansions, and then knowing when to leave, and knowing when to cut your losses as well. And Moon looks like he's going to be bringing in these Ancients of War for a very bad attack. I mean, it could go okay because it is Moon, but still it'd be a bit crazy. And Moon now has actually brought his some bears and that looks like a Warden down to take out those units, but Warden was taken down to such low hit points that he did need to get out of there, and Dispel being used for some free experience for that Panda, cutting it ever closer to 6, and it is dangerously close now. And some towers going up here now for Infi. Infi only has one more creep to take out, and then he can claim this expansion for his own, and meanwhile Moon will be completely distracted. So this game is actually starting to go Infi's way, starting to go exactly how Moon likes it. And I think it was Infi versus Moon recently, where Infi did eventually win after like an hour-long tank game on Twisted Meadows. And it was a really exciting game. Moon pretty much had lost it, but he just stayed in it for so long with a decent chance, just because he was playing so dodgily. He was just putting up expansions everywhere, even though he had basically nothing to support it, and it was really going quite well for him for a bit, but he just didn't manage to hold it off. And meanwhile, Panda taking a lot of damage. So this is the power of the low-level Mount Kings. You still get a 5 seconds done. Obviously, a bull going off there to take down that rejuvenating bear, and you can just use that stun just to stun in the range of towers. You don't need your Paladin or your Mountain King to actually be doing the damage. You just need him to stall him, and that one Dryad accidentally moves in the range of lots of piercing and siege. Not really a good situation for him to be in, and it looks like Infi's going to be able to slowly push him, but he needs more towers up a bit forward, and since he doesn't have the resources to do that, he will be in trouble. And that Panda now hitting 6, but no mana for his ultimate, although I'm not sure he'd even want to use it at this point. Moon needs to bring in his Warden, I think. What's the Warden? Warden Spot and Invisibility Potion. Actually, level 6 Warden would be very nice at this point. Moon actually taking this expansion I think Infi wanted, so that Warden must have been down there. Just so much stuff going on here. And Moon just going to come back in here. Probably going to go for one Breath of Fire on these towers. Actually, no, goes for it on the mortars, and he takes one down. But he will need to get out of here and will need to be rejuvenated up. Assuming there's no mana. Oh, there was mana on that last bear. Sorry. And Moon now going to be finally using this one mine, and looks like he will be possibly getting this other one up. Although there are militia here, but I'm not sure if Infi must have scouted it, but I'm not sure he's actually using them for anything. And the Warden just popping in, but not being able to capitalize on anything because of all these towers. And a Arcane Vault being used as well. Very nice choice there. We don't have a staff from Infi at this point. I'm surprised by that. Human staff is just so awesome, especially in this sort of situation. And it looks like Infi just very overextending himself. Those towers should be in this range really at most. I think he should probably just creep along the trees with these towers if he wants to win it. And Ancient of Wonder is now going up for Moon. So both sides are bunkering down for a bit of a longer game. And Bolt coming in there, getting that Warden, and that Warden in a lot of trouble. Warden blink. So, oh my god! Oh Jesus Christ! The blink was actually happening there. If you rewind that, if you missed it, the blink was actually happening, but the warden went down. So level 5 warden gone, and it looks like Infi's switched now to a mixture of tier 3 units, knights and griffin riders with the animal war training upgrade. So a very sneaky switch there from Infi. We only have 1 griffin aviary and 1 barracks up, so he's really gonna have to continue building units and siege units. And Infi actually doing that right now with these tanks. And then, oh my god, I can't get over that blink, folks. And this sort of tower push slowly creeping forward. Obviously, Warden has been rebought at the tavern, and so Moon will just need to go back just to get some more mana on his Warden, and then might go off to take out these towers. Actually, no, it's probably too late now. Still, 1 arcane tower would be amazing here. I don't know why pros don't do it. Actually, Infi, I'm sneaking in some towers here. It looks like because it's nighttime, has Moon not noticed it? Oops, that's Infi's point of view. Yeah, Moon has noticed.